our top story today.
Political opinion is reaching an all-time high at Teesside as the SU's AGM discovered.
The evening, which attracted more than 200 students, allowed attendants to pose questions to the SU's officers on issues affecting young adults.
Leonie Garlick went along and found an interesting debate over free education.
At this year's annual general meeting, students spoke out against Teesside's mutual stance on free education. President Will Ridley's motion of not for, not against was dismissed by the majority upon voting.
1,144 students. None of them have talked to me about free education, but people have been talking to me about car parking, about timetable, about all the different things we do through our campaigns. I wanted to make sure that we're doing things for our few members in this room that we know we can actually do things that we can actually achieve.
The officers had strong objections, with hands flying up and voices waiting to be heard. Former Education Officer Hannah Graham was one of those students, echoing views she had already spoken on the panel last year.
Your student leaders behind me, they're actively against the motion of free education, meaning that currently TUSU is against free education. No attempt to contact the student membership has been made. This debate has been sent to AGM, whereby less than 1% of our student population in this room are attending this place. And they're going to be making that decision. Vote down this motion and vote for free education.
All right, time. Thank you.
Current Education Officer Ryan Marshall jumped to the union's defence with an array of tasks that he deemed more achievable than free tuition.
We want to be campaigning on things that affect you, like timetabling, housing, car parking, all the student issues that matter to you.
There's some really good arguments from both for and two sides, and although it did fall, I still think it was a fantastic outcome to the evening.
Mature student Philip Aguma feels the union is failing to hear the student voice.
It was quite intense. The officers weren't expecting that. I don't think they knew how much the students wanted free education. We want free education because access to all is going to be better for the society.
The final vote, led by Student Activities Officer Jodie Bird, dictated the dismissal of the SU's motion on free education.
And thanks to Leonie for that story. And as part of the education debate, a protest demo was held by the National Union of Students in London.
Over 8,000 students across the UK attended the march, which aimed to fight government policy ahead of next year's election.
I spoke to two people heavily involved in this issue and who are trying to raise awareness of the problems young people are facing. Jordan Blythe is one of the university's most active politicians, and as chairman of the University Labour Society, he has been responsible for a number of political events. He spoke here about standing as a councillor next year.
The sort of older section of the population, 40, 50, 60, they tend to be more likely to vote, and if you look in House of Parliament, if you look in government, that tends to be the section that's best represented. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting younger people involved and making our voices heard and making a real impact. When I've been on the doorstep and knocked people, they're usually happy that they're seeing a fresh face, they're seeing young people involved, and I've made very clear that whatever I don't know already, I'm more than happy to learn. I'm prepared to work hard and I'm prepared to make myself available for the people of Middlesbrough.
Jordan was also one of 8,000 students taking part in a demo protest last week in London, supporting free education for students.
About a dozen of us from Teesside went down, assorted Greens, Labour and a couple of others. We went down about 4:30, we got there about 11, assembled, took about an hour to get moving, but once we got going it was just a fantastic atmosphere. There was a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. It was a really positive atmosphere, a carnival atmosphere almost, and it was a really fantastic day. And there was thousands of people there marching for hope.
There are more young people campaigning politics than ever before now, with more than 30,000 young people joining political parties. NUS delegate Hannah Graham spoke about the impact it had on the march.
The reactions from the general public was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Like walking down the streets of London. I mean, I've been on demos before and it's not been that well received, but on Wednesday it was brilliant, really well attended, really well received. We've seen like workers, like workmen in London, they were joining in, and so it wasn't just students. It was lots of the general public were in as well and really helping us out. Everyone was joined together, you really united front. Lots of different political views as well. But all supporting the same cause, which was fantastic. It was really great to get everyone there uniting together. The final manifestos for government, for the next general election, haven't actually been submitted yet until after Christmas. So I think that's something, right now is the time to get involved. Right now is definitely the time we can actually influence.
And you can make a change now.
Definitely, we can actually influence the next general election without a doubt.
The future looks bright for young students, but will the hard work pay off in time for next year's election? Jamie Crow reporting for Teesside News.
Now, if you've been following the X Factor this year, many of you will remember Teesside star Kerry-Anne Covell.
The 23-year-old made it to judges' houses where she spent time with mentor Cheryl on a luxury yacht developing her skills.
I spoke to Kerry-Anne earlier about life after the show and her plans for the future. Well, I'm here with Kerry-Anne here at Teesside University. I just want to say welcome to you. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
How are you liking Teesside Uni?
Oh, lovely.
So, should we get into this interview then?
Yes.
Let's get to the heart of Kerry-Anne.
Yes.
Well, it's been an amazing year for you. You've gone from Teesside, the local Teesside girl, to X Factor on ITV.
Crazy.
What a journey that must have been. I mean, explain if you can.
It literally has been the most emotional, exciting, just crazy thing I've ever done in my life. You have to just go and just do your best and like give everything you've got. You have to. So yeah, I just thought that we've got nothing to lose. So I went.
Yeah, you did it. So let's talk about that audition then, the lovely famous audition.
Oh.
You mentioned in your audition that you may have been sacked from your current job at the time.
Yeah.
And it was rumoured that Simon Cowell was your superhero and he called up apparently. Can you explain what happened there?
Oh, that was feeling of it, because literally I said it in total passing. But he said, what do you do? I said, oh, well, I work in a trainer shop. He said, all right. I said, actually. So it's a bit of a long story, but I might not, because my area manager said to me yesterday that if I come today, if I miss work, then I'm down as AWOL and my job's at risk and it's their discrepancy. And they were like, what? And then I went out of the room and then Sam was like, I want to ring your manager. And I was like, oh, okay.
Seriously? So you were one of the lucky ones that obviously got to move on to the judges' houses. You went to Nice in the south of France. You must have had some amazing adventures out there. I mean, what adventures did you have with the other contestants, and what was it like with Cheryl as a mentor?
We got to go on a £3 million yacht, like the first day we got there, and
I want to go.
We travelled first class. We were like drinking champagne on the way there. I was like, it was brilliant. We had to do like a challenge. That was shown on like Extra Factor, and there was like 6. Are they called like cloches? Them like silver things, you know, like what they served like. Yeah, there were 6 of those. One of those, yeah. And like Sarah Jane, the Extra Factor presenter, she like read out a fact, and like if it was our fact, then we had to like go and randomly pick one of these. We didn't know what was underneath them. So that I got my question last, and I had to eat snails.
Oh.
Yeah. That was an experience.
It's like a Bush Tucker challenge.
I know, Bush Tucker trial, I know.
And what does it mean to be performing in your home of Teesside?
I think for me, like to be performing at home is like one of the biggest things for me. Like I love being home. And the support, like from people like in the Northeast, is absolutely ridiculous. It's so good. Like everyone was just cheering for me, and it's so nice. So just to be obviously performing at home and stuff, it's amazing. I love being at home. And I've never performed. I've never done a set with a full band before, so that's I'm so excited for that because I'm such like a big belty singer. Like I've done like loads of gigs and stuff with just acoustic guitar, but I did one rehearsal before with a band, and I was like. I started singing, I was like, oh my goodness, like it was just such like it's massive because it's got everything. It's got like bass, electric guitar, like it's just got the full package. So I'm like, it's gonna be like really, really, really good. And I'm just doing loads of different varieties of songs and stuff. Like we've got some like new ones what people haven't like heard me sing before.
Oh,
I know.
I'd like to be out.
Definitely. I know. I'm really excited.
I'll be there with my banner. Well, thank you very much, Kerry-Anne, for joining me today here at Teesside Uni in the studio.
Thank you.
In other news today, a local charity is starting a Christmas campaign to help victims of human trafficking.
A21 are collecting items of women's clothing over the festive season for victims of the crime.
Emma McCann spoke to a Teesside student involved in the charity.
Christmas is once again upon us. It is time for us to exchange gifts and well wishes with our families and friends. However, this is not the top priority of 20-year-old Esther Akinola. Esther is looking to give those less fortunate something to smile about on Christmas Day. Here she is to give us an idea of who A21 are and what they do.
In 2008, Christian Kane was traveling from Greece to Thessaloniki, and she got stuck in the airport waiting for her husband, and she was with 2 kids, 6 and 4. So the second one got missing, and she started looking for her all over the airport. And then she noticed some newspapers and some missing faces, and she began to look and wonder what faces are these people, and they've been gone for so long. And she went to investigate and found out that they just disappeared, saying that they were going for a job in some country, in some states, and they never came back. And she began to look and found out that in this 21st century, there is still human trafficking that we don't know about. It's estimated about 27 million people are being trafficked every year. So 1 in 30 seconds, a lady gets trafficked. And so the theme is that we should always raise awareness, because it could be someone's friend, it could be someone's daughter, it could be someone's mother, because each person that gets trafficked is a single soul, and those souls, they've got a purpose to fulfill on earth, and they've got a life that they've got dreams, and they've got a life that they need to bring forth.
She has been collecting clothes, jewellery, toiletries and other things for the women rescued by A21 from a life of fear and trafficking. Here are some of the items Esther has received and why they will be helpful for the women at this cold time of year.
For Christmas, A21 are doing a campaign to get things, basic necessity for girls that have been that are rescued into their shelter, because like these girls don't have basic necessities that we have, so they are reaching out to us and telling us that we should donate some things that, you know, as girls we need, like clothes, shoes, makeups, underwears, like everything a girl needs. And so I have collected some things from my friends and their friends and some neighbors. And so there was this nice shoe over here. I'm sure one of the girls will love it, just to go out on a night out, you know, to experience and have fun what we just normally take for granted on a day-to-day basis. Also, I've got this nice kind of like a jumper dress which they can wear on a night out and wear to keep them warm. So I've literally gotten a lot of stuff. There are some clothes inside here, some jumpers, some dresses, some jackets to just keep the girls warm and to show them that we really love them and we really want them to be warm this Christmas. I want them to have fun this Christmas, because Christmas is all about giving, about making people know that they are cared for.
Now, as we approach the countdown to Christmas, many of us will be spending time with our families, buying gifts and hitting the gym ready for a big juicy turkey.
But it's not the same for everyone. Christmas is celebrated in many different ways globally, some more interesting than others.
Jack Croot and Ashley Mann spoke to some international students at Teesside about how they'll be celebrating the festive season.
For most of us in the UK, Christmas Day consists of opening presents and tucking into a Christmas dinner. But for many others, the celebrations are a totally different state of affairs. We spoke to Teesside University students from all different cultures about their plans for the big day.
Well, I'm from Barcelona, and it's in Catalonia, it's a part of Spain, and there we have a typical traditional celebrate Christmas. It's a funny piece of food with the children and their families decorate it, and then maybe it depends of the night. It can be the night of 24th or the morning in 25. They eat the funny piece of food and sing song till the appears presents. It's not so used to have a Christmas tree. Some families have it, but not all of them. But yeah, that's the typical thing, yeah. I don't really like Christmas.
We celebrate Christmas in Northern Ireland probably very similar to how you would do it over here. Boxing Day is a bit of a mess, trying to get like everything sorted, and Dad goes to get the turkey and then he has to bring it home and get it ready. Like, there's no other time of year where you have food that good, like turkey and roasties and spuds and all the rest of it.
We celebrate Christmas on the 24th, and in the afternoon most people go to church, some don't, but after that you all go home. And then it depends on the family. Either you eat first and then you get the presents, but if you have a family with smaller children, you probably would first open the presents and then eat because they are impatient. And most people celebrate the 24th only with their parents and children, and then on the 25th or 26th, you go and see your other relatives, like your grandma and grandpa.
We start preparing a day before. That's the 24th of December. And that's the time you prepare the food, you prepare the clothes. And over there, it's so important to buy a new dress when there is Christmas. And for other families, it's very good to give tokens to neighbors, friends, families. The Catholics tend to have a service at night, that's at midnight. You go to church and it's so interesting because they first switch off the lights and you all light the candles. And then it's so nice in there, the bright candles, everyone with a candle. Then we listen to the carols for the day. The day, as in we share everything, even if you've never given. The time you give. Actually, everything ends on the next day, Boxing Day. You wake up and you have to give out the gifts as usual. Everyone is happy. The Christmas decorations stay there till New Year's Day. People tend to leave that there for a full month at times, just to remind them that they had Christmas.
Fröhliche Weihnachten.
Bon Natal.
Sekukulu Inonji.
Merry Christmas.
A music shop and cafe in Middlesbrough is fast growing in reputation.
Sticky Fingers, situated on Linthorpe Road, is known for its range of premium guitars and band evenings, but the shop itself has an extensive history.
Tom Salmon went along to explore its roots.
I'm here on Linthorpe Road outside Stephen James Guitar and Amp Shop, but you might notice that there's not much going on in this shop anymore. That's because in summer 2014 the shop moved across the road and is now here. But it didn't just bring guitars and amps, no, joined onto it is a brand new music venue called Sticky Fingers, and I'm going to go check it out and hopefully I can play some guitars while I'm at it. Originally, Sticky Fingers was meant to be a simple cafe, a place where those who didn't want to try out guitars could go and take five and relax. So how did the idea go from a cafe to a live music venue?
It was actually my daughter who said to me about the cafe. She said, well, you know what it is nowadays, the pubs are dead. What is the, is the latest thing is music bars. So ding, I thought, well, not only a cafe, we'll get it licensed and we'll put bands on in there as well. And that's what we do, and it's turning out really well.
While Stephen looks after the guitar shop, the music bar is run day and night by the manager, Joey Boys. I sat down with Joey to see how the first 5 months have been going.
It's been good. It's flown by, to be honest. We've had good bands, we've had filled nights, so yeah, so far so good.
With the quiz night on Wednesday, open mic on Thursday and live music Friday and Saturday, there's definitely lots to get involved with. But is there anything for us students?
We've got a few deals on a Tuesday nights, what we're aiming for the students really. With Mixtape down the road, they go on live music till late, so we're doing a little bit on there.
With the first 5 months going so well, I wanted to know what the plans were for the future.
We would like to continue putting on great local music. We'd like to develop our menu a little bit more and maybe look to the daytimes to do a bit more food. And then see where it takes us really. I'd like to have them all over the country, but that's way in the future.
So there's definitely a lot more to look forward to. If you like live music or just want to go to a cool new place, then Sticky Fingers is definitely worth checking out. And yes, I got to play a guitar.
Now Teesside is rapidly producing a growing number of young entrepreneurs, so we wanted to know what their secret to success is.
James Drew, a former Teesside student who studied web design, has set up his own software development company in Stockton. His company helps local businesses to build online communities.
Carl Redshaw interviewed him on his success.
Originally, I was working for a company that my colleague was running at the time, which is based in the Victoria building. And I wasn't really planning on doing a placement year at all. Then one of my lecturers decided that I should be doing a placement year because it's not worth it to not do one. And I was working for Kate's company based in the Victoria building. And one of my lecturers came in, he had quite a close relationship with him anyway. In fact, I got that job through him. And yeah, he was telling me I should be doing a placement year. So I turned to Kate and basically said, well, can I do a placement year? Now at the time she knew that things weren't going very well behind the scenes in that business, so she just went, no, but if you can find a good idea, we'll put it in front of someone with some kind of commercial knowledge and see how that goes. So I did. And she put it in front of a good friend of hers that's got a good sort of business head about him, and he said that it had legs, so we started up the business. I had a freelance brand at the time, so we just used that brand to get the thing going real quick, and got permission from the School of Computing to run it as a placement year, although I'd technically have been working for myself. I needed a supervisor of some kind, so that's where Kate came in. I had the opportunity, obviously, to do this as a placement. Previously it was set up with someone who was an undergraduate in web design, who now works for a different company in York, because he just wanted to move out of Middlesbrough. Still a good friend of mine though. And Jordan, who is sort of his replacement, he was an undergraduate at the same time. In fact, we graduated at the same time in the same ceremony. And so there's lots of opportunities there that we've had, and it's nice to sort of provide those for other students. We are a business out to make money, but at the same time, we don't see any problem with giving students a chance. Quite often, they've got some cracking ideas, they just need a bit of refining to get them to do things in the right way.
Working at Jojo Creations has really benefited me so far, because I'm starting to learn the difference between what it's like in a university environment and what it's like in an industry environment. In university, it's quite sheltered, but in industry, your decisions have a real world impact rather than you just have to jump through hoops in university. And I can use this knowledge to A, benefit me in final year, and B, benefit me in industry when I finish my degree.
I'd like to feed back some stuff into the university where they can improve their courses, so that, you know, I know that they've just won a prize for being engaged with business. It would be pretty cool if we could help them sort of shape their courses a little bit, so that when the students do come out, they can go straight into employment, whether it's with us or someone else. I think that'd be really useful. So yeah, we want to sort of help in that way, as well as growing the business itself. And pushing Ambix to drive the growth of the business is really the way forward for us.
In sport, the university's hockey club has been playing to raise funds for disadvantaged children.
Louis Scotzer talked to the team about their chosen charity and what they hope to achieve.
Hockey at Teesside seems poised to be one of the big hitters for Rag Week 2014. The men's and women's teams joined forces, braving the chilly November weather, and played 2 continuous 12-hour hockey matches. All this was done in aid of Access Sport, a UK-based charity that gives disadvantaged and disabled children a chance to play sport.
We were going to do it for children in need, but we wanted one that wasn't as recognised, so that to try and get it a bit more recognition. And looked at loads, and this was the one that we liked the best, so we chose this one.
The team's decision was influenced not only by their admiration for the work of Access Sport, but also the effect it could have on the sport they love.
The charity we're doing helps disabled and disadvantaged kids, so we thought that's a great idea to help raise the profile of hockey, raise sport in general. It's going to help them develop and get better. I think the first 2 hours will be good, and then the standard will drop, but I think we'll do it. We'll definitely do it.
The games were played under regulation hockey rules, meaning there were 11 players and 5 substitutes per team. Despite this, nearing the end of the second day, the players were showing no signs of slowing down. But after 24 hours and nearly £600 raised, the team were more than ready to take a well-earned rest.
And finally, to end today's show, we'd like to say a special thank you to our viewers by singing Christmas carols.
And we're joined in the studio now by our amazing production crew that has helped us with the programme today, and by some of the Teesside's Audio Newsday members to help us join in the festive spirit.
The red-nosed reindeer has a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeers used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, Won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then all the reindeers loved him, and they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. In a one-horse open sleigh, over fields we go, laughing all the way. Hop, 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 bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. One way is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, bring us a figgy pudding, oh, bring us a figgy pudding, oh, bring us a figgy pudding and a cup of good cheer. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, everybody! And have a Happy New Year.